Welcome to the Sparky Coach podcast. This platform was built by Sparkies for Sparkies. We simply exist to make business owners more profitable, or businesses more profitable and more predictable. So we want to work with people that work hard because we love working hard too, that work smart because you got to be on top of the business, people that are kind because no one likes a dickhead. Am I right? People who want results because that's what we're here for, right? And people who want to be part of a like-minded community. So if you're interested in hearing more about the platform, please reach out and enjoy the podcast. Sparky Coach Pod, Crowy here with Cat.
What's up? What's up? Yo, yo.
Standard, look at yourself in the mirror and say, what's up? This is our Boats and Hose series, inspired by Step Brothers, one of the greatest movies of all time. And it's boats and hose, gotta have me, my boats and hose. What do you gotta have? This is the site edition. What have you gotta have on site? What is the must have on site? What can you not live without on site? And so I've sent a text out to a few people. It's pretty random in a way because sent a text out about 10 minutes ago, told everyone to hurry up. And it's because I've been thinking about like, when your mojo is running on site, this is going to sound like a funny topic to talk about. Oh, cool. But when everyone's happy on site, and when you're working with the right tools on site, and when you're working with the right people on site, and when you're in the right mindset on site, it's the job's going to get done effectively better. But also, don't underestimate team morale. We always talk about company culture, and to some extent, that's a relatively vague thing, right? It's incredibly subjective. Oh, you gotta have a good culture. And there's a part of using elaborate long words, that you get to the end of it and you can say a really cool couple of sentences about culture, but it's like, well, how do we do that on the ground? You know what I mean? Like, what does it actually mean? And I can take everyone out for beers and all this kind of stuff, and we can go for schnitzel or kombuchas or coffees. But I think it's culture is also like, how is the work getting completed on site? Is there a good energy in the gym? Shout out to dodgeball, right? There's a good. Don't slack, Trevor. I'm watching you. All my dodgeball people are frothing right now. Everyone else is like, who the hell is Trevor?
Dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
You can dodge a wrench. Duck, dive, dip, dodge, whatever he says. It's so good.
Why are we here, Daryl?
All right, so I've sent a text out, and because I was thinking for me, must have on site, so I'll roll into what that is. It's interesting to see how people take this. So I sent it to the big Ford dog, the big Josh Ford, and he wrote back, top 3 what? Tools or organization. So he's a heads in the business owner mindset, which is actually interesting because you can take this either way to what tools you want, or what job management software or what plans. And he wrote back one thing: microwave. He's like top 3. He's obviously talking about like a larger job. You're bringing your microwave. Maybe you got a microwave in the car. But I'll tell you what, heating up food is my worst nightmare. I will eat anything cold. Spaghetti bolognese cold, rice dishes cold, yogurt cold, anything cold.
Is this really an efficiency thing? Because I don't have time to wait for the microwave.
You know how I feel about efficiencies, but no, I don't like the zapped food. Like it actually rubs me up a little bit the wrong way. I like it a bit more authentic, a bit more cold. Cold pizza, yeah, everything. If it's leftovers, I'm having it cold. Put it that way.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, if it's a dish served to me, yeah, I'll have it warm. I'll have it hot. Oh, not too hot. What's your thoughts on the microwave? Like, do you side with the Ford dog on this, or what do you got?
I'm more a toasty sandwich press. Just a bit more convenient to have, like, around with you. But yeah, I think the toasty maker was always like, just makes things enjoyable. Yeah, it can turn an average sandwich into an exceptional sandwich, or an average wrap into an exceptional wrap.
So would you say it turns homemade into gourmet? Is that what you would say?
You've gone from the homemade, maybe a little bit soggy, to it's just turned into a cafe level, execution on site on a cold concrete floor with sawdust everywhere.
So good, so good. All right, big Hib dog, Tasmanian Lord. He said this: radio for vibes. Love it. Gotta have the radio, the tradio, the classic tradio. Organised foreman. That was a spelt wrong, Hib. How dare you spell foreman with no E? Organised foreman. Love that. And correct tools and PPE. So there's nothing like the correct tools, and there's nothing like some yellow high vis safety. But like, if you're not on a commercial site, safe, like lockout, tag out, right? Shout out to Lockout and Live. Go buy some stuff from those guys. Just doing some cool stuff, making safety cool again, because everyone has the right to return home safely. You have to be safe. Quickly, like, thoughts are for you, or not quick, whatever, but like organized foreman. Where does your head go to with that? I know you're a
Oh,
bit of
I just think, my sort of radio and toasty is sort of like if we're going to look at the, delivery of like creature comforts on site sort of thing. But then I feel that the massive influence on it is the plans and the material. You can do anything when there's heaps of material on site. So
my
you,
old Dennis. Shout out to Dennis from RJ Air. He would have this rule: got to be looking, or you want to be looking at it, not looking for it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so I really think that has a massive influence on it because you can, if need be, it gives you the ability to adapt with what's happening. So it's like, oh, hey, we went in planning to do X, but because of circumstances beyond our control, we weren't able to do that. Let's just say they had to close an area off because they needed to do some other works there. It's like, okay, cool. We have a heap of cable tray sitting there. Let's punch into the cable tray. And I also think what happens is, let's just use it for an example, the cable tray. If you've got all of the gear there to keep rolling and like looking at as the construction occurs of whatever you're building, or in a sense of like, we are on site a little bit here, that by doing these things in a sense of order, so to speak, you're actually then creating future work fronts as well. So, like, if you throw the cable tray in, obviously, for example, you now have your cable pathways. So, if you have the ability to, hey, we've got our tray going up the risers now, you've created cable pathways to throw in, if the boards are sitting inside the risers and things like that. I feel like if you have the material, it gives you the ability to pivot as needed because sometimes things happen. They might be grinding the floors. The carpenters could have taken over the space. The bricklayers need to be there. They could be lifting overhead a heap of material on and off site with a mobile crane. Like the trusses could be going up. Or, I don't know. I just feel like materials has a massive impact. Like Dennis, I like him already, but I don't know. You need to be looking at it rather than looking for it.
You would like Dennis, and I also think so important just to work out the critical pathway. So often, if you know what a critical pathway is, it's something that has to be done before something else is done. So the classic case example is bathrooms. They've got to be waterproofed before the tile bed goes down. And once the tile bed goes down, then you can tile. And once you tile, you can start to fit off the bathroom and bits and pieces. So it's just like what's on the way. So it's really important. I want to get to this later, but just organization in organized form, and that all four person. I don't even know if that's like four girl, not foreskin. That would be inappropriate to probably even mention. Might have to cut that out of the pod. Don't like cutting things out of the pod. Probably won't cut it out of the pod, but here we go. So, and correct tools. Love the correct tools. Shout out to cable rollers all over the country who are as good as an apprentice, I would say, if not better, because nothing's tangled. If you don't have multiple cable rollers, I never got to use the cable that's actually on a roller that you can buy because
Yeah.
it wasn't out.
No.
But what a blessing. I mean, essentially, data is the similar thing, right? Just on the roller, bang it out. What a vibe. What a time to be alive. All right, Tommy from Rylak. Shout out to Tom, the automation god, sent back in time to make sure your garden lights turn on at dusk. That's his sole purpose and mission in life. The Tominator. All right. He said this: coffee, hectic, absolutely hectic. Tool pouch that straps on, PG. He said in brackets, PG. PG strap on.
Like it.
Yeah, I'd love to see his tool pouch. That's actually huge,
Yeah.
especially in a service and maintenance space. Too big a tool pouch. I'm going to call it. You're going to be scratching gyprock everywhere. You're going to
Yeah.
be rocking around like you're Chris Farley from one of his movies, right? Crazy. But
I'm gonna make one on that one with like so type of tool bag for your tasks. So I actually believe that you should have multiple tool bag,
I had
basically.
2 tool belts. I reckon Willman would have been a good person to text because I can just imagine his tool belt would be so organized.
Yeah.
But a rough-in, this is what I used to use for a rough-in. There's a craft right one from Bunnings. I think it was $10 back in the day. I'm not sure what inflation has put that to. Probably $9 because Bunnings doesn't anyone prices anytime. They're like the opposite of inflation. There's deflation. So it's interesting. But they had a hammer. It had like 2 pouches, one for 1.5 clips, 2.5 clips, or 2.5 if you want to say that, and it had pliers, sideys, cable ties you can just tie onto it, and there's not much else you need for a rough-in. Maybe an impactor, some saddles if you're cable tying bits and pieces, but like for a hardcore rough-in, and you can clip your drill with speed bore. Make sure it's a brand new speed bore. I actually didn't write this down in my list, but a brand new speed bores have to be up there on the list. Like, is there anything worse than working with blunt drill bits or blunt speed bores? No. Crazy. I've said this before on the pod, but people speed boring with impactors just needs to die. Like, it's just too loud. Okay, and it defeats the purpose of the speed bore, I would suggest. Okay, dual battery setup with little fridge and microwave. He's got microwave too, so you can take lunch and save money and time. Most people underestimate lunch, how long it takes to go and get it. I think bringing lunch from home or getting lunch on the way, like, there's if you did the efficiencies on this, psycho. So if you're on a job site, consider sending an apprentice or someone else's apprentice to get some lunch, or call ahead and order it. But if you're consistently buying your food, not only you're probably not eating super healthy, you might be, but let's say you're not, you're wasting a whole lot of time, you're wasting a whole lot of energy and effort. Like, you just bring it from home. So coffees in a thermos, just be a bit more organized, I think. And if you're consistently buying food out, it's just a waste of time and money. But any thoughts on the taking lunch? Like, how do you approach that?
Yeah, no, it's a big one. Like, basically, if you got to go get it, it's in your time. That's like, you get your time for lunch. If you're not organised enough, well, then you're eating on the run, basically. That's it. That's essentially it. Bit more relaxed with like Tuck Shop Fridays. That's what I used to call it. If there's a whole group of you, just send one of the apprentices, and then you can all sit down. So just a lot of it's just about being organised and being smart. Like, you don't need 4 people to go to the shop.
And call ahead. Call ahead and get it organised and set. That's really important. Now, Bremner, shout out to Bremner, who can in fact do a high kick over his head. In case you're wondering, send me a video of that, Bremner. With claws optional. Okay, so he said pliers, screwdriver, tape, connectors. I mean, that's 4. I asked for 3, so he's already misread the question, right? But I love that. Just basic raw dog, like practical. I can read his personality type from here. Love that. In pockets at all time for staff. And I remember, let's just say tool belt there, but far out. If your apprentices don't have tool belts, just go and get them a tool belt, mate. It's so incredibly important. But I think the big thing is being ready. A tool belt's you're ready all the time. Do you need some tape? I forgot the electrical tape holder on the craft right ones. So important. Huge. So huge thing to carry around at all times. I think that's incredibly cool. Who else I got? Heath. Shout out Heath from H Spark. Or HS Park. No, he hates that. It's heaps funny. All right. He said the boss has got to bring coffees for the boys and girls, which I love that. Like, if you're driving around and have the option to buy someone a coffee, you really should. If you're going to a site visit, just buy someone a coffee, bring it to them. Is there anything better in the PG related sense than someone bringing you a coffee? Hey, I thought about you. Actually, when someone brings you like a large milky coffee and you're on the black coffees, pretty bad, straight to the hips. Too much milk is never a good thing unless you Will Ferrell from Anchorman, that pushing forward. He said this, coffee to the boys. Questions ready for the leading hand on site and a report list for works completed. So basically organised list. I actually had that on my list. Lists, checklists, organisations. If you're running a team or especially apprentice or especially subcontractors, have a little, and let's say you're on a larger site or a rough-in or something or a fit-off, have a little huddle in the morning. Get together, little huddle, and maybe you got a coffee in your hand, maybe you don't, right? But you're just saying, hey, try and give the apprentice as much of a list as possible so they don't have to interrupt you. It's a big thing. And when they do interrupt you, encourage them to interrupt you once with 10 questions, not 10 times with one question every time. If you can learn that skill in life, too many times I think starting out in business, I was super annoying. Like I would ask all these questions and interrupt people. And I'm like, wow, I've just got to bunch these questions together and ask them at the one time. So being organized is huge. Lists, checklists, organization. So lay out people's days. Hey, this is where I'm expecting you to be by the end of the day, by the end of the week, by the end of the 2 days, whatever. But if you can lay it out what's possible, I think that's incredibly important. So he said this as well. A list of 1 to 10 most important. Oh, sorry, I just echoed. A list of 1 to 10 most important things to be done on site for the builder. So this is a site related one, obviously, but like 100% get like, hey, can you guys just do this? Can you guys? I need this to happen and that to happen. And I've seen builders work with like Asana or a program like that, or build a trend where you can actually just say, hey, I need this to happen and log it on there. That's a really cool organizational system. If you're texting too much back and forth, like you can do that with the little people, but you really want everything in the one spot. I feel like one spot, communication's huge. And then for the team, he said all tools, ensure nothing is left on other sites, and updated plans. Huge, huge. And he said as well, hit list of importance from 1 to 10, which is kind of what I mentioned on the critical pathway beforehand. So I'm going to get my couple. I had this cable roller, huge. I love cable rollers. A solid apprentice. Though, if you're working with an average apprentice, you need to actually kick that boy to the curb or girl to the curb. Like, there's no place for an average apprentice. Your business, it's very hard to get tradies. It's going to be very, very, very hard to get tradies in 5 to 10 years' time. You're going to really want to create them. If you're creating someone, make them excellent. You get one shot every Olympics to create an apprentice. Make them good, make them the best they can be. So I had cable roller, solid apprentice, good organized checklist. Make sure you got the right plans. Make sure you got like day goals, week goals, month goals. Make sure you're sort of collaborating with all the people on site. And then the big thing is critical pathway. Like, are you in the right spot? Are we roughing in upstairs or fitting off upstairs when downstairs is a priority? Bathrooms is a priority. Like, you got to make sure that you're aware of the pathway of a build or of a job. You know, like if you're a service job, does that person have to go to work? Cool. Well, let's get the power off and then lock it out. And then let's get the internet back on so they can get to their meeting at 10 o'clock. Like, a couple conversations early. I want to shout out this. Whatever job you're on, if it's not a job site, beware of the BSCC, the boom, smash, crash, cash. If you're at a service job, you are like, you don't want to rock up with a tool belt like your Arnie from Rambo at the start. Like, I'm ready to go in, coach. Just give me a chance, Ace Ventura style. So you're rocking in, like bashing the walls, throwing your tools down. You need to just go in like with nothing at the start. Hey, how are you? You know? Okay, cool. What are we doing today? Yeah, making sure you're on the same page. Just like a calm approach to the start, like rather than like I'm booming, I'm smashing, I'm crashing, give me the cash. Like, you don't want to do that. You need to calm down, slow down. If you're gonna carry anything you got to carry a drop sheet at the start. That's what you're going to carry, and you're going to put it down somewhere. But like a little bit of calm energy is a good time. So anyway, I haven't even asked you your three, or is it something?
I mean, the type of tool bag I think is just paramount. Tool pouch, tool bag, whatever you want to call it, tool belt. I just feel like whatever you're doing, it needs to be relevant to that. And if you're doing a few different areas of work, I feel like you need to be set up and organized in that, because it actually makes your life easier. Less trips to the vehicle during the day, makes you more efficient on site. It also just makes you look like you essentially got your shit together in a way, because people notice it. If you're not organized, people identify that. So yeah, type of tool bag, really, really important for me. Got to have a radio. I actually personally hate AirPods, if I'm being brutally honest about it.
Is it for the anti-socialness of it?
Yeah, I think, yeah, and I just think it sort of carries across a bit of like disinterest, if I'm being honest, like, because you got to yell out to people. That's just my opinion.
It's also just incredibly unsafe.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like driving with AirPods. There's an ambulance behind me. I can't hear it. I got 50 Cent blaring in my ears.
Yeah.
You know.
in the club.
Yeah.
So radio, the type of, and then the plans. I just feel like you've got to have access to the plans really easy. And in digital age now, I feel like there's no excuse. Like you're not having printed out plans in a soggy A4 document folder.
And shout out to the service gods, because we all do small jobs, we all do big jobs. And reference plans to clear job notes, just like a clear articulation of referencing what's the job notes, how long is it going to take me, does the carpet match the drapes? If I see 6 hours on the schedule and look at it, this is a 2-day job, beware. Or as Scar says from The Lion King, be prepared to have that conversation. Great one. All right, that's On-Site Necessity, our Boats and Hose, part 1. There'll be plenty more. If you want to discuss a topic of off-site necessities or some other necessity in your business, let us know. Good times.
Cheers.
That's a wrap on another podcast. Whatever you're doing, don't be too busy to stop and check if you're making money. And above all else, you know the rules. Be kind. See you soon.